welcome everyone. I'm glad we could all join, and hopefully we've had a chance to visit a little bit. And I wanted to welcome you all to the Order of the Golden Rule's inaugural Golden Rule Circle celebration, an evening of excellence honoring the incredible work done by OGR members over the past year. I'm Evan Strong, OGR's president-elect and your host for the evening. As many of you know, I'm born and raised Canadian and from Calgary, Alberta, so I'm glad you could all join us. And for any of you that can't understand my Canadian accent, I will try to talk as slowly and as clearly as I can, especially for my friends who aren't sure what I'm saying half the time anyway. But hopefully you can all follow me and we'll get through things. I think we've got through most of our little technical glitches, and we'll make do the best that we can. We want to kick things off with the recognition of member firms who are reaching milestone anniversaries with OGR in 2021. We also want to celebrate our newest members, those who have joined us since our last conference. Despite the impact of the coronavirus, we are happy to have welcomed 7 new funeral home operations into the OGR family since April 2019. We also have 6 new student members from the Pittsburgh Institute of Mortuary Science, the Mercer County Community College, Worsham College of Mortuary Science, and Fayetteville Technical Community College. OGR members also benefit from the services of 13 new supply partners, including 7 in the past 6 months. These new supply partners give us an extra reason to celebrate because together they pushed our supply network beyond 50 members. Remember to always check the supplier network directory on the OGR website when you're looking for a new product or service. Just look for the supplier network option under the Member Resources tab at ogr.org. We are able to celebrate these great milestones thanks in part to the incredible work done every year by the membership committee. A quick thanks to this year's past committee members. Our chair was Chris Janowick of Janowick Funeral Homes in Ypsilanti, Michigan. Serving with him were Eric Cahill of Veterans Funeral Care in Clearwater, Florida, George Dart of George Dart Funeral Chapel in St. Catharines, Ontario, Mark Matthews of Matthews Funeral Home in Melville, Saskatchewan, and Terry Plummer of Plummer's Funeral Service in Litchfield, Illinois. Thank you all for your hard work over this past year. As much as we love celebrating these incredible milestones, we don't want to forget those we have lost over the past year. Please join me as we remember our colleagues and loved ones who have passed since our last conference.
This past year has pushed all of us as funeral service professionals to try new things and do old things in new ways to serve our families amid circumstances when traditional grieving practices were not possible due to the pandemic. Our association as a whole also went through some changes over the past year. For a look at some of what your leadership has done over the past year, join me in welcoming OGR President Mary Steele and Executive Director Wendy King.
Welcome, Mary. We're so glad that you could join us this evening.
I'm excited to be here to take this opportunity to address the entire membership and catch them up on where we are in OGR.
2020 sure was a year like no other for OGR, wasn't it?
It was certainly a change and a challenge for many, many reasons. Of course, COVID changed some of the most fundamental aspects of our society, both in terms of how we live and how we honor those that we love that have died. I mean, luckily, as death care professionals, we're no strangers to handling unexpected things. It's something that we face almost on a daily basis. And I'm proud to say that our members met the challenge, and despite the obstacles, they were able to continue to provide the highest level of service to families in spite of all the obstacles that we had to face.
As an association, how do you think that we fared in 2020?
Well, I think that despite all the obstacles of our profession, that we faced, we still had, a 92% retention rate of members, which is tremendous. And this year we are trending upwards. We've already embraced a new member into our family, and nearly 75% of our members have already renewed for this year. And plus the member that we brought in January, and we're looking to bring a few more in the next few months anyway. We've also welcomed a half dozen new suppliers in the past 6 months, which to me is amazing because they were, we weren't seeing anybody out in the streets. They were all having to go deal with COVID too. But this tells me that our members are seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. And I think more importantly, they're seeing the value of the OGR membership and what OGR has brought to us through COVID with all the roundtables, the suggestions, and everything else that we've had. I think that's really been an awesome part of this year.
Well, it's been great that we've been able to stay connected with our members in spite of the obstacles. What's the one thing that you're most proud of accomplishing under your leadership?
I think that the most important thing that we have done of everything in 2020 is the 3-year strategic plan. I think that is going to be a super guideline for us going forward in the next 3 years. And I hope at the end of that 3 years, we can build something that'll really challenge us more. But we've spent the better part of the year putting that together. We met multiple times on Zoom meetings and did some homework in between. With the help of our volunteer leadership, our OGR staff, and our management company, Rayburn Group International, I think we really far exceeded everything we planned to do in the beginning. We designed to adapt and grow with the ever-changing times. The plan addresses 3 key areas: programming excellence, membership growth, and brand identity. We want to offer our innovative program for members and for employees. We want to grow the brand recognition so that members benefit even more by being aligned with OGR. And we want to increase our membership, both firms and suppliers. But more importantly, we want to make sure we are offering the benefits that our members need and want the most, and what they see the most value in. And with this in mind, our staff is evaluating all of our current products, services, and educational programs to ensure that they continue to meet our current needs. They are also working together to develop new ideas that will be created into valuable member benefits to enhance each area of our strategic plan.
When it comes to the strategic plan, what role do you think that members can play in it?
By being engaged, telling us what's working, what's not. The continual input is very critical to the future of OGR. And I think by being a smaller organization, we can work together a little better than, say, NFDA can, because there's so many people in so many different ways they have to do things. I think the most impacting thing that a member can do is just to be engaged with OGR, contact our member resources, and use the vendors that are part of our organization, and even try to bring in new members. If you work with someone that's really awesome and you think that's something for OGR, suggest it to the leadership so they can contact that person, because they may not know they're out there. We also need to take advantage of the programming that is being offered. We need to attend the upcoming events as much as we can, and attend the upcoming conference if you can travel. So,
Well, I think that those opportunities also give people the opportunity for professional growth. Volunteering with the OGR, it helps you, as you said, in a lot of different ways.
It does.
Any last words for our members, Mary?
I would just like to thank our members for placing their continued trust in OGR. It's been an honor and a blessing for me to serve as your president for the past year, and I thank you all for the opportunity to do that. And while I couldn't see any of you in person during the year, I am so looking forward to seeing you when we can come together again as a group. And I hope the next time we can gather as an annual convention, we see tons and tons of people there, because we all need to learn who each other are again, since it's been so long since we've seen you. But thank you all for the opportunity, and thanks. And I really want to thank our RGI staff. They are awesome. And this may not be the right place to say this, but I want to say this anyway. I think that since we've joined our RGI, I think that we see our organization as a lot stronger. I think we're more settled and confident of our finances. And I can see OGR going a long way in the future. And I place a lot of that thanks on RGI.
Well, that's wonderful. Thank you. And thank you for the leadership that you did. This was such a unique, challenging, and difficult time to lead an association, and you did a fabulous job. So thank you, Mary, very much. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the program tonight.
Thank you, Wendy. And it's been a joy to work with you the last 6 months.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mary and Wendy, for that update. To give you an idea of where OGR stands as an organization, we currently have 260 member firms spread across 9 countries and 42 states in the US. We have 1.77 million in assets, including 1.54 million in investments. You may remember that in October 2019, we moved our daily operations from an in-house staff to an association management company, Rayburn Group International. We're already seeing that move save us $250,000 a year. You can find a more detailed financial report on the Golden Circle Celebration page on OGR's website. That's ogr.org/celebrate. These financial numbers were prepared with the assistance of OGR's Financial Committee, chaired this year by Paul Hummel. Joining him were Roger Byers, Mary Steele, myself, and Wayne Bud Wheating. Our board of directors is helped by other volunteer leaders as well. Jamie Whitting of Whitting Funeral Home in Chilton, Wisconsin, chaired our Professional Development Committee for the past year, and our Young Professionals Council was chaired by Pete Urban Jr. of Anton B. Urban Funeral Home in Ambler, Pennsylvania. Thank you all for your service this past year. OGR is supported by its charitable foundation. For a look at what the foundation has accomplished this past year, please welcome Foundation President Paul Hummel.
Good evening. The goal of the foundation is to advance the standards of funeral service and contribute to the compassionate care of individuals in need. I want to take a moment to recognize the Foundation Board of Directors and thank them for their service. If you would like to volunteer with the Foundation, please contact any board member. The Foundation's efforts are funded through generous donations made by OGR members and others who support our profession. Our largest fundraiser is our silent auction held at the annual conference. Because of COVID, we were unable to hold the auction. So now, more than ever, we need your support, and we need to be able to provide more scholarships to more students so they can enter our profession. Throughout the year, we recognize our generous donors in the Independent magazine and on our new tribute wall at ogr.org. I want to take a moment this evening to thank those donors who have already made gifts this year. Giving at the gold level are Anita Green, Livingston Butler Volland Funeral Home and Cremation Center, Pollock Randall Funeral Home, Chris Miller, and Bill and Linda Brock. And thank you to these donors who have given at the bronze level: Jay and Mary Steele, Don Biles, Sarah Cross, Kim Hunter, Ben Underwood, Chris Stewart, and Jamie Weeding. I am excited to announce that tonight we are kicking off a new fundraising campaign for the foundation, thanks to the generosity of one of our member firms. Mike and Marie Butler and their children, John and Nikki, will match up to $5,000 of all donations made tonight and through the end of May. That means any gift you make tonight will be doubled. Again, they will match your donations made tonight, any donation made through May 31st. And if you made a gift earlier this week, they'll match that too. Make your donation tonight by pledging your gift amount in the chat box or by going online at ogr.org/foundation. We thank the Butler family and Livingston Butler Volun Funeral Home and Cremation Center for their generosity. Because of your donations, each year we are able to provide annual awards of excellence scholarships to worthy mortuary students. It is now my honor to announce this year's recipients. First, our silver level recipient, who will receive $2,000, is Kenneth Wortman. Kenneth is a student at Fayetteville Technical Community College in North Carolina, where he has a 3.97 GPA. He hopes to graduate in December. Kenneth said one day he wants to own his own funeral home, which specializes in traditional burial, cremation, green burial, alkaline hydrolysis, and restorative reconstruction. Our gold level scholarship recipient, who will be awarded $3,500, is Mariah Banks. Mariah will wrap up her studies at the Pittsburgh Institute of Mortuary Science in September. She also hopes to own her own funeral home one day, where she wants to advance her average funeral service to a level far beyond your standard amenity. You can learn more about both of this year's winners at ogr.org/foundation. Both of them are with us this evening, so please join me in congratulating them and welcoming them into our profession. And thank you for your continued support of the foundation.
Thank you, Paul, for joining us this evening. Next up, it's the Exemplary Service Awards. These are given out each year to 3 OGR member firms based on feedback given on our Family Contact Program forms. As always, this year's winners were chosen by the winners from the previous 3 years. We had 22 total nominees this year. 19 will be recognized as honorable mentions, plus 3 winners. And the winners are Freitag Funeral Home, Bridgeton, New Jersey, Montgomery and Seward Funeral Directors, Pueblo, Colorado, and Plummer Funeral Services, Litchfield, Illinois.
Congratulations again to all of our winners and honorable mentions. You can read the winning comments at ogr.org/awards. Our next award of the night is the Golden Rule Community Service Award. This honor is given to one member firm that has demonstrated outstanding service to its community. Nominations were sent in by members of the association, and the winner was selected by members of the board of directors. We have 2 nominees this year: Brunswick Memorial Funeral Home in New Jersey. Brunswick started a program called In the Face of a Pandemic, We Stand Together, a social media campaign designed to help the community adjust and get through the changes forced by COVID-19, including distributing PPE as much as they were able. Our second nominee was Veterans Funeral Care in Florida. They undertook a series of 5 community events, collectively referred to as Community Compassion and Service during Coronavirus. These included the inaugural Police Appreciation Day, Honor Guard Scholarship Fund Barbecue, Live Nativity, Operation Toy Soldier, and the Pastor Appreciation Breakfast. All except the Pastor Appreciation Breakfast were hosted as drive-through events designed for safety and social distancing. And the winner is Brunswick Memorial Funeral Home. Congratulations to everyone at Brunswick for your amazing work on this project. Our final award of the evening is the Golden Light Award. This is OGR's most prestigious honor. It is given each year to an individual who has made specific, meritorious contributions to society through his or her profession and or their community service as well. Nominations are accepted by any member of the organization and are then voted on by a panel of past winners. The nominees this year are Charles Castiglia of Lakeside Memorial Funeral Home, Mary Strunk Kopchak of Strunk Funeral Homes, and Jerry Olivieri of Olivieri Funeral Home. And the winner is Jerry Olivieri.
Hi, I'm Geraldine Olivieri from Olivieri Funeral Home in Manchester, New Jersey. I am honored to receive your most prestigious award, the Golden Light Award by the Order of the Golden Rule, where our members are measured not by gold, but by the Golden Rule. Thank you for recognizing my dedication to my community and profession. I would like to thank my hardworking staff that supports all my endeavors within the community. The dedication and long hours to help make all of our community service projects work effortlessly are a true commitment to their profession they also have dedicated themselves to. Although my staff has nominated me for this award, I can truly say it has been a group effort. Therefore, I would like to personally thank Marissa Valinsky, Jordana Blodgett, May Boyce, Chris Farrant, and my husband, Michael Henneke. Thank you very much. Jerry.
Good evening. I'm Tom Himmerly, owner of Barnett Strother Funeral Home in Madisonville, Kentucky. For the past year, I have served as OGR's immediate past president. The final responsibility of the past president each year is to preside over the installation of the coming year's officers and board of directors. Names are submitted by members of the association and nominating committee, of which I chaired. Serving on this committee with me this year were Charles Castelia of Castelia Funeral Home in West Seneca, New York, and George Dart of George Dart Funeral Chapel in St. Catharines, Ontario, Canada. I would like to say a special thank you to our current president, Mary Steele, who has ushered OGR through an unprecedented year. Per OGR bylaws, Mary will now become our immediate past president, and President-elect Evan Strong will become president. Your new president-elect will be Paul Hummel, and Chris Miller will become our new secretary-treasurer. Peter Irvin joins the board for a new 2-year term as a director, having served as a chair of the Young Professionals Council for the last couple of years. And taking his place on the Young Professionals Council chair will be Arian Rule. The directors and board and officers took their oath of office during the April 20th board meeting. To see a recording of the board installation on the OGR blog at ogr.com. Now I'd like to invite Evan Strong to join me on this virtual stage to take his oath of office in front of our membership. Evan, I'm proud to install you today as OGR's new president. Please raise your right hand and respond to the following. Do you, Evan, solemnly affirm that you will strive to the best of your ability to carry out the duties and responsibilities of the office to which your professional associates have elected you, that you will uphold the bylaws of the International Order of the Golden Rule, and that you will at all times endeavor to keep the highest personal and professional standards of which you are capable? If so, please answer, I will.
I will.
By the authority vested in me, I hereby declare you officially installed as President of the International Order of the Golden Rule. Your duties and responsibilities begin immediately. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And one last thing before I turn it over here to Evan. Evan, our last Canadian president didn't wear socks, and I know you don't like to wear ties, so I'm going to officially take mine off for you and welcome you as the president of OGR. Congratulations.
Thank you, Tom. I'm impressed you kept it on as long as you could, so that's good. If you have any questions about your benefits as a member or any other aspect of the association, OGR staff is always ready to help. They have been a great help throughout our transition with RGI. They have been a great help in having this evening put together. They've been so helpful with technical issues for all of us, as many of you, the same as me on this call tonight, the Zoom, that we are funeral directors there to serve families. We're not as technically advanced, I think, as the group in front of you on the screen, but they've been fantastic. And I know on behalf of the board and the previous boards, we couldn't have done it without them. And we do owe them a great round of virtual applause, and they're there to help us. And I just want to introduce them. We have Executive Director and CEO Wendy King, Member Resource Director, of course, many of you know Nancy Will, Education and Events Director Emily Perkins, Communications Director Evan Hoffmeyer, Membership and Meetings Coordinator is Alyssa Castile, Communications and Marketing Coordinator Adeline Border, and Member Services Coordinator Crystal Flores. And again, they have been a great help, and please reach out to them, all members. They're very helpful and knowledgeable, and will get us through what we need to do. You can find contact information for each of them on the About OGR page under News and Information at ogr.org. I also want to take some time for a special thanks to each of our endorsed suppliers who support us year-round: Access Financial Group, the Dodge Company, Matthews Aurora Funeral Solutions, Skyway Medias, Thummies, and Veterans Care. As we're coming to the end of our evening, I wanted to invite all of you who are with us today to raise a glass and a toast to all of our members in the incredible work each and every one has done over this year of uncertainty. And I know I speak personally, I think, for many of our funeral directors, and I would be the same, that it has been an interesting and challenging year, and we've done the best we can through as much as we can. It's hard sometimes to put the word in, to put this year in words. I think for many of us, it's been a challenge, and we've made it through. As some of you know, I like to do Ironman triathlons, which, if some of you aren't familiar with, are long distance swims, bikes, and runs. And one of the things that always gets me through is a certain amount of patience and realizing that there's ups and downs through the course of the race. There's good moments and bad moments, but at the end there's a finish line, and usually it stays that way in my mind, even when there are, again, good and bad times. And I think a lot of times this year is a good example of that there has been a long haul for all of us. There have been times where we see the best in families and in people, and sometimes the situation has brought out the worst and the difficulties that we have with Corona and just with the uncertainty we face. But we see a finish line at the end, and we continue to serve our families and keep moving along. And I commend all of our members and funeral directors all over for the work that they've done, for the challenges, for the time they put in, for the grief, the tears, helping families, the frustrations in dealing with government, dealing with agencies, municipalities, governments. But we managed to get through, and we'll continue to do. Our profession is a resilient bunch, as are our members of our organization. And I applaud all of you, and we keep moving and we keep serving our families the best that we can. And I'm looking forward to being your president. And if I can help you in any way, as a support, as a cheerleader, I look forward to that as well. So we keep moving forward, we keep helping. We will finish the race one day, and we look forward to that finish line where some semblance of normal comes back. So I'd like you all to raise a glass if you have one. I'm going with a Calgary-based cider, a little change up here. So salute to OGR, and all the best in the upcoming year. Cheers. It's been wonderful seeing all of you this evening. Be sure to join us for our first in-person event since the pandemic hit, a leadership summit, September 19th to 21st. Learn more at ogr.org/leadership summit, or just look for the link under the education and events menu. And once again, thank you for joining us. I understand we're all busy, And it means a lot to me, to the staff, to the board for you to participate. And we encourage you to stick around and continue networking and catching up with old friends. Once again, thank you for joining us. Stay safe, my friends. Keep looking after your families you serve, and good night.